You're here. Welcome to the Masterminding Success podcast. They say if you want to be successful in business and in life, then surround yourself with successful people. So pull up a seat. The mastermind is about to begin.
Hey, glad you could join us for another episode of the Masterminding Success podcast. We're your hosts, Keith Wheeler
and Nuria Corby.
And what are we talking about today, Nuria?
Today is a great topic. Again, I know we have a lot to say about it, and that is passive income.
Yes. Yeah, that's something that you definitely hear a lot about nowadays.
Oh, yes.
It seems like every commercial on YouTube, every ad I see on social media is all about, making a lot of money through passive income.
Yes.
And so, this is definitely a topic that I think a lot of viewers will either be familiar with, at least, having heard it, but maybe not necessarily familiar with actually doing it. And so
Yes.
I think this is a good topic.
Yes. And also a lot of people will have different opinions on it. There's the side of people that say passive income doesn't exist because
Right.
it's not passive really. And there's the other side that says, oh, of course it exists. It's real. I'm doing it all the time. I've got one foot in each place, I think. I don't know how you feel about that. What do you think? Do you think it exists? Passive income is real, or do you think it's all nonsense and it's all hype?
Well, it's funny because it's like a running joke in my family that I'm kind of like a lawyer where I can argue both sides of everything. I don't think passive income exists. I know it exists because I'm witnessing it.
We're doing
for
it
myself. Yeah, for myself. But I don't necessarily think it exists the way a lot of people think of it. You know what I mean? Like their terminology, their definition of it. And it's usually people who are, from my experience, are just hopeful. Like they're just kind of reaching for, the stars, reaching for, for something. And they hear passive income. They hear people talk about the money that they're making. And there's this default mentality that it's easy money, and there's a difference between passive income and easy income.
Absolutely. Yes, that's exactly the right way to describe it. People think when they hear passive income, oh, it's going to be easy to do this.
Right.
And then they find out that passive income needs a lot of work that you need to put in. So then suddenly they think, well, it's not that passive, and it's not easy and it's not working. So, oh, it's all it's all rubbish. It's not true.
Right.
But really that is the wrong way of looking at it, because passive income is real. And once you've put in all the hard work, and you do have to put in a lot of hard work, what passive income then is a way to maintain a steady income stream with minimum work. You still have to put in some work, you still have to maybe promote whatever it is that's creating your passive income, or maybe you have to add to it to keep it fresh. There are little things that you have to do, but it's passive income in the sense that you are not working down a mine shaft and you have to, physically work at it all day long to receive an income at the end of the month. It's slightly different to that. It's because I think printables or digital products are a really good example of that, because you create a digital product once and then you can sell it over and over again, and that is then passive income. So it does definitely exist. I think you and me both are people who are generating passive income, but it's not as easy as people think it is. And that's what you just said. They're confusing passive income with easy income, and they are two very different things, as we both know. So
I mean, my mom and my parents told me a long time ago, when I was a kid, if it seems too good to be true, it is. And so it's kind of that mentality when it comes to, if you think it's going to be just I'm just going to go in and I'm going to throw something together and I'm going to make a ton of money. If it really was that easy, everybody would be doing it.
Absolutely.
It does take effort. It's just like any other business. It does take effort. It does take, like you said, the time. Perfect example of one way of making passive income, because I know there's people that might have heard of it, but they don't know really what it is. So, that's one thing I definitely wanted to talk about briefly in this episode as well, is something like affiliate marketing, which we've talked about in a previous episode. But like I could show a product in one of my YouTube videos, and I can have a link down in the description if it's something that I truly believe in, and it could be an affiliate link. That's a way of passive income. I took the time to research the product and to use it and to do the video, but now that video is out there forever. Yes. And it's making me income when people watch the video, think it's something that they, that would work for them, and then they click and buy.
Absolutely. And another great example, I mean, a lot of our listeners are authors or people who create books. And if you're writing a book and you publish it, that is a form of passive income, because you've done all the work. You've written your book, or you created your book, and you've published it, you've promoted it, and now all the sales that are coming in, all the royalties, are passive income. But again, it's coming back to what I said earlier. It's not completely passive, because you still have to go out there and promote it and increase your revenue that way. So yes, you can have passive income that is after a while, after you have created that product, it's passive after that. But if you really wanted to continue being passive, you have to work at it. So it's a tricky one, because it's passive, but it's not passive, if you know what I mean.
This is where the lawyer comes in, right? I can argue both sides. It is passive to me. What causes the work after you've done it is the volume of income you want to get from it. It's still passive. Like you could publish a book and not doing any promotions, and any money that comes in through that is therefore passive.
Yes. But
if you want to get more than pennies, that's when you have to do what you said, and you have to do the promotions and things like that to bring more attention to it. The income is passive. It's just, how much of that income do you want to get, will be, justified directly by how much, effort you put into it after the fact. Yeah.
But saying all of that, I mean, the beauty about passive income, and this is something that my husband and I talk about. We talk about this every day, because it's still new to us, and we enjoy what we do now so much more than when we used to work in an office, or when we used to. I worked at a cafe at one point. I've done a lot of things in my life, and none of them have been as what's the word I'm looking for? As none of them have given me as much freedom as I have now, because we can go shopping in the morning on a weekday. We don't have to ask permission of my boss. Can I take half a day off? We can just do that. And we always look at each other and we think, wow, this is great, because we're still having an income coming in because we've put in the work. And then when we get home, we still put in some more work. Right. So we keep working at it, but it seems like passive income when we're out and about, and we're thinking, wow, if we worked in an office, or if we worked at any other place, we wouldn't be able to do this, because we would have to take time off and therefore not get paid for it. And that's where it really feels like passive income, because you have that advantage that you have more freedom, basically.
Yeah, you're working on your own schedule.
Yep. Yeah.
No, I completely agree. I mean, I actually had that conversation with my wife many times. I'm like, could you imagine back when my youngest daughter was playing travel softball? I'm like, if I was in an office, I wouldn't be going to any of these tournaments. I wouldn't be, whereas now I bring my laptop with me if there was something, that had to get done, or an email I had to answer, most of which I can just do on my phone. But yeah, I mean, and can we just say as a side note, how nice is it to be able to go grocery shopping in the middle of the day when there's not like a ton of people?
Amazing. It's amazing.
That's something that just I didn't expect to enjoy. I was like, oh wow. And it's not that I don't like people. I'm very open. I love to chat with people, but it is kind of nice when you're there for a purpose. You can just you don't have all these clogged up aisles.
And you can go whenever you want, right. You can, it just gives you so much freedom, and that is the beauty of it. Yeah. And that's why I basically love anything that creates passive income. And I'm sure you're the same. And it is passive, but I think it kind of worries me when I see some of the ads that people make about passive income, or some of the things that happen on YouTube where people promote passive income. And yes, it is passive income. I'm not taking that away from them, but it's the way you present it. I think you have to make sure you tell people that it's not easy. it's not easy income. It's passive after a while, after you've done the work. So, that's the difference, I think. And I think some people leave that bit out and then it looks really easy. So, and a lot of people get caught into that, and then they think, well, it doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. So this is a load of rubbish. And it does work. It's just that you've looked at it from a different perspective,
Yeah, exactly. Like if it's not easy, or if it doesn't work right away, if they're not seeing drastic, increases in their income, then they think it doesn't work, and they just think, oh, it's just clickbaity or whatever. But I'll be honest, I mean, I've seen videos like that, and some are clickbaity, some are because mainly, like you said, they're not telling you the full story, I guess is the best way to put it. But I don't want to deter people from feeling the freedom that you and I feel. Perfect example is
nothing better.
For my wife and I, for our 25th wedding anniversary, we went to Cancun. I didn't do a thing work related. Some people, with a regular 9 to 5, you might say, oh, well, that's like taking, that's like being on salary and taking a vacation. Right. But I literally didn't have to take I mean, I just did it. I've taken entire months off of work, and usually around the holidays, and my income is stays the same. Actually, around Q4 usually goes up, but it's it's that kind of freedom.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, it wasn't overnight. It took time. I'm always creating something new, but I think part of it is because I'm seeing that, because I see the passive income, and because I see what it can do, it drives me with excitement to want to see, okay, how much better can I do? How much better quality products can I put out? What other stuff can I do? Because like you said, always looking for different passive income streams, because, if one income stream dries up, I don't want my entire business to crash, so exactly. It is a little bit about diversifying, at least for me.
Yeah. Absolutely. And you just made a really important point just now, where you said that people start what they think is passive income, and they see it doesn't work straight away. It doesn't bring them the income straight away. And that's where some of those ads are to blame, because they make it sound like you create this product and you put it online and see the money coming in. And that is not the case, because with most passive incomes, it takes a while for that to work. So there is a time where you're in limbo, or where you're thinking nothing is happening, but I'm working really hard to create this so-called passive income and nothing is happening. And then they give up. And that is the point where they shouldn't have given up, because passive income takes time. And you and me, we've experienced all that. We know that now, because what's happened is that we've created something, and after a lot of work and a lot of time, it started producing. And that's when you have that moment where you think, wow, this works. What else can I create now? What else can I do? And then you're prepared to put in the hard work, and you're prepared to wait, because then it will come. But it's the first time you do it where you don't know. You don't know whether this will create an income or not. And then that insecurity, or that not knowing, makes a lot of people give up, So that is where many people fail. And people like us who've done it, and we've been through all of that and the ups and downs, it's a real roller coaster of emotions as well. We know that I always think that if I could have told myself 3 years ago how to do things, it would have been so much easier. I wouldn't have done anything differently. I would have just said, just wait, it'll come. It would have taken away the uncertainty and the not knowing what's going to happen. And I guess, you can't take that away from anybody. Whatever we say, people still have to go through those emotions. But I just feel so excited to tell people about it, because I want them to feel the same thing. I want people to have this freedom that we can have now, so there's nothing better than this. So when the subject of passive income comes up, I understand both sides, but I'm on the side of go for it, because it is passive income after a while.
And it's the we keep saying the word freedom, but I guess that's the best way I think to describe it. But again, it's working on your own time. So if you have a regular full-time job, or you've got kids at the house or whatever, it is, do it when you have time. Don't set this this time frame, this short time frame, and expect everything to happen right away. Things that are worth it don't come that easily. They don't. It's a lot of it's just a learning thing. When you're first starting out anything, it's going to take a while. It's going to take some time, but you learn from it. So like you said, if you could go back and and tell yourself to kind of stick with it. That's about the only advice that I would give my past self, because everything else, I wouldn't want anything to have been easier, because I don't think I would have stuck with it, because I would have given up too soon, And so everything that I learned, every hurdle I hit were things that helped my business grow.
Yes, absolutely. No, like I said, I wouldn't have told myself to do anything differently, because if I'd done things differently, I might not be where I am now, so I did all the right things, I guess. But it's the psychological side of it, where you're just not knowing what's going to happen. And it does take time, because if I think back, the first idea, the Home Boss, which is my channel, that came about because I wanted to work from home so that I could be with my kids. And that's when the idea started, and I was looking for passive income or home-based income then. My kids are grown up now, so you can see how long it took me to get to that level. But if I had started by knowing more earlier on, I might have got there a little bit quicker. And this is where we've got an advantage now, where we can watch YouTube videos, or we can get information from people that have done it, and they can pass on what it's really like, rather than the ones that say it's very easy, because it's not that easy. But I really want to encourage anybody who's thinking about it, because that's how I found my freedom in my business. So and I think you feel exactly the same about it, don't you? It's about encouraging people.
I do. I think it's about encouraging people to get the freedom. I don't think that we were put on this earth to be, working for someone else. I really don't. I think that we all have the ability within ourselves to basically make our own income. But again, it's really just believing in yourself and understanding that, the biggest thing is thinking, I see all these people that are doing it and they're making so much money and I'm not, so I must be doing something wrong. And it's not necessarily that you're doing something wrong. It's just that you're expecting too much of yourself at the early stages. I agree with you that, YouTube videos and things like that, they can be great. They can be so much information. The ones that I have found, at least, that make it seem super easy are usually the ones that are selling you something. They're selling you a course to teach you how to do it this easily. And usually that's one of two things. Either it's easy for them because they've been doing it for years. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy for you. Or if it is truly that easy, they're doing something that goes against somebody's terms of service. And while it might make you money, very quickly in a short period of time, if your account gets closed, how long is that, great thing going to last? You know what I mean? And I think people are seeing that in KDP. People are seeing that with audiobooks and all this other stuff. They took, and I feel bad because many of them didn't intend to break any terms of service. Absolutely. They just put their trust in the wrong person.
Yeah. Because I think back of when I first started, I didn't know what I know now. I didn't know the ins and outs. And if you listen to someone who sounds quite plausible on YouTube, you kind of put your trust in that, and you don't know any different, so it's a minefield, really.
It really is
out there. And you have to be so careful who you listen to and who you take advice from. But I think you have to also use your common sense, look at as many different sources of information as possible, because the more informed you are, then the better prepared you're going to be. And it's like anything. If you're starting a business, you really need to inform yourself. You can't rely on somebody else's opinion. I see some questions that are asked in Facebook groups, for example, that are very they really need some legal knowledge or basis to be answered, and they're asking in Facebook groups. Whatever answer you're getting in that Facebook group is never going to cover you if anything goes wrong, because you can't then turn around and say, oh, but so-and-so in the Facebook group said so-and-so.
Yeah, judge doesn't care about that.
Yeah, it won't cover you. You have to do your own research and find your own guidelines as well. So yes, get information and get inspiration and motivation from all different sources, but ultimately use your common sense. And whatever platform you're using, whether you're selling on Amazon, on KDP, on eBay, Etsy, each platform has their set of guidelines and rules, and you have to follow them as well. So there's a lot to consider, but if you take it step by step, it's overwhelming when you think of it all at once, but you wouldn't climb a mountain by flying up to the top. You take it step by step. So same thing with anything, with any business you start. So that's my advice.
Yeah, no, I couldn't agree more. Yeah, it's just I think one big thing that I really want people to take away from this episode is that from my experience, not from my opinion, but from my experience, passive income is real. It's not easy income. It's not winning the lot, paying $1 for a ticket and winning the lottery income. It's not that passive. It's not that easy. But I think that anything worth putting time into is you'll get something back from it. And so I couldn't agree more. You actually jumped on it and said it right before I was going to, which is, like when you're going on YouTube or you're going on, any kind of, platform, and learning more about whatever you want to do with your passive income, whether it's books or t-shirts or, affiliate marketing or whatever, or a combination of all of the above, that you do get the input from different sources, and from there you can extrapolate what's real and what's not. If you hear one person saying how super easy it is, and you can just with 3 simple clicks, you can blah, 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 and then you see other ones that are saying like what we're saying, where it's more real in your mind. Yeah, you might be hoping for the 3 simple clicks, but chances are, deep down that that's not really the case.
That is the problem. That is the problem. People want easy. They want an easy way.
Oh, I want easy too. Don't get me wrong.
And maybe we wouldn't have found this if we hadn't been looking for an easy way to make money. But I can categorically, and I'm sure you agree, we agree on everything, Keith, don't we? We're agreeing again. But I'm sure we both agree that there is no easy way to make money. But there is an easier way in some cases, but no easy way. Definitely not. No.
Yeah, no. I mean, I agree. We'll have to find a topic that the two of us completely disagree on. I think that'd be an interesting one. But no, I mean, it's like I said, I mean, and we could just, I don't want to belabor it too much, but you know, it's easy in the long term, you know, in the great, I mean, I've got videos out there that are making me money with me talking to you, you know.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, what better, and I don't run ads to my YouTube channel or anything like that. So, I mean, what's more passive than that? You know what I mean?
Yes.
Same thing with my videos that I have up on Amazon, the books that I have out there, you know, many of them I don't run ads to, but they still bring in money. But again, it took a while to get there.
Yeah. Yes.
But I mean, like I said, if I'm not, you know, shouting from the rooftops, I'm not spending a ton of money in ads, if I'm not, and I'm still making money, what is that other than passive?
Yes.
You know, if I can be out on the beach and come home and there's a deposit in my account, that's passive as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
But yes, it took time to get there. It took time and it took energy to make sure that I'm creating good content that people are actually wanting to consume, whether it's a book or a video or whatever.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely agree on everything with you there. I wonder what would happen if we stopped working right now and never did anything. Would we still get that passive income? I think what would happen is that it would get slightly lower each month. Yeah. You know, you have to keep it fresh and you have to keep adding to it.
Yeah.
I think that's,
I think in a few years, maybe it would be nothing.
Yeah.
But that's nice to know that you can go a few years without working and then you stop making money. So again, it's not super passive where it's, at some point I still have to create content in order for it to keep going, but nothing like working 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, grinding, doing something I despise doing just so I can make enough money to feed my family. This is been there. Yeah, exactly. So have I many times. Yeah. And so no, it's putting in less time to make more money than I ever have before doing like I said, 9 to 5 work. Yeah.
Everybody start looking for passive income.
Yeah. I mean, if you're watching this on the YouTube channel and you have any questions, feel free to just, drop a comment and let us know. It would be unfair to us for us to share all of our niches that we're in, but we can definitely help guide you. Like, if you've got an idea for a passive income stream type, not necessarily, you don't have to be specific, I'm thinking about doing books, I'm thinking about doing YouTube, I'm thinking about doing affiliate marketing or whatever. We definitely, I mean, you and I could do an episode on all of those.
We could.
Yeah, so
we definitely could.
All right. Well, this has been another great mastermind area. Once again, a huge thank you to all our listeners and viewers who came to tag along. If you enjoyed today's mastermind, please consider following or subscribing to the podcast and maybe even leave us a review and let us know what you thought. We read all the reviews and it really means the world to us. Until next week, I've been Keith Wheeler.
And I've been Nuria Corby.
Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining the Mastermind today. Be sure to follow the podcast on your platform of choice and tell a friend who would enjoy it too. Your support is greatly appreciated. This has been the Masterminding Success Podcast.